Hello, welcome back to the next part of the video, which is already in continuation with the subphylum Vertebrata. So the next class that we are going to do here is amphibia. We all know that amphibians are those organisms which can survive on both land and water. So they live in aquatic and terrestrial habitats and need water for breeding. Body has head and trunk. Some have tail. Moist skin without scales. Most have two pairs of limbs. Tympanum here is their ear, as the thing that we call ear in these organisms. Tympanum behaves as their ear, and they have three-chambered heart. That is two auricles and one ventricle, as you see here in the diagram. Okay. They are poikilotherms, that is cold-blooded. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts are open into cloaca. Now let me show you. All this is cloaca. This is cloaca. As you see here, they have pointed it out. So all these things, the alimentary canal, even the urinary bladder, even the reproductive tracts, all open into one opening, that is cloaca. And respiration is through gills in larva, and when these larvae grow, they respire through lungs and skin. So that is why they can survive on both the conditions. Then sexes are separate, external fertilization, and they lay eggs, that is oviparous, and the development is indirect, that is indirect development means the young ones do not resemble the adults, so their development is indirect. Now these are the various examples of class amphibia, as you see here: toad, frog, tree frog, salamander, even the limbless amphibia is also present here. Then children, we come to the next class, that is reptilia. We all know this, that they are dry and cornified skin, that is the skin is quite rough. Epidermal scales or scutes. Snakes and lizards shed their scales and skin cast. You know that snakes and lizards can shed their skin. पूरी की पूरी skin उतर जाती है. Limbs two pairs if present. Maximum times it is not present, but if present, two pairs of limbs. Mode of locomotion is crawling. They just crawl and move. Then again, tympanum is the represents their ears. You see, this is the casting of skin. You can see here they have shown it to you. Then again, they have three-chambered heart. In this case, but the septum partially separates the ventricle. Heart is four-chambered. This is an exception now. Crocodile are the only reptiles which have four-chambered heart. Otherwise, they have three-chambered heart. And you can see the septum is partially present. That is, partially this septum divides the heart into two. Okay. So only partial septum is present. Again, they are cold-blooded, well-developed alimentary canal. Respiration is done by lungs and internal fertilization. They lay eggs and the development is direct. Okay. So these are the various examples of class Reptilia. You see, these are the various poisonous. These are the various poisonous and non-poisonous snakes. Python is, they have shown you all. Next, the class is aves, that is birds. Present on the presence of feathers and beak is a very unique feature for this class. Forelimbs are modified into wings. Dry skin without glands, except the oil glands, that too at the base of the tail. Hind limbs have scales. The hind limbs have scales. I don't know whether they have pointed it out. Okay, and are modified for walking, swimming, and clasping the tree branch. They want to hold on to the tree so they can clasp it through the hind limbs. Long, hollow, and pneumatic bones. Now, children, what do you mean by pneumatic bones? It means that the bones are hollow and it contains air inside it, so they are lighter The bones are hollow, so they make the bird lighter in weight so that they can fly. Again, tympanum represents their ear. Four-chambered heart and homeotherms, that is, they are warm-blooded. Digestive tract has additional chamber called crop and gizzard. Double respiration, that is, air sacs connected to lungs. You see, air sacs are also present and lungs are also present, and both of them are connected to each other just to make a balance so that they can fly and even breathe. Internal fertilization, and they lay eggs, and the development is direct. Okay, this is a class. You see, they have given you certain examples from the class Aves. Then the last and the most important one is the class Mammalia, presence of mammary gland. Skin has hairs on it, two pairs of limbs used for walking, running, climbing, burrowing, swimming, or flying. They have external ear as pinnae. Okay, four-chambered heart. They're warm-blooded, that is homeotherms. Okay, well-developed alimentary canal. Dentition, that is heterodont, thecodont, and diffeodont. Now, these three terms have been used just for various, they have been using these terms for various reasons. So they are known as heterodont because there are four types of teeth, and then it is thecodont and diffeodont also. Respiration is by lungs. Sexes are separate, and internal fertilization. Viviparous, that is, they are going to give rise to young ones, but there is an exception. The exception is given as echidna and platypus. Um, why echidna and platypus? Because they lay eggs. They are the ones which lay eggs, but they are mammals. So this is why they are exceptions. Development is direct. I just want to ask all of you to write down the exact meaning of thecodont here. So children, thecodont is the morphological arrangement which the base of the tooth is completely enclosed in a deep socket of bone, as seen in dinosaurs and mammals. So why do we call them as thecodont? Because our maximum teeth has been it has been fixed up, I can say, in a socket called the jawbone, and that is why we give the term as thecodont to the teeth. Then why do we call it as diffeodont? It is because a diffeodont is any animal which has two successive sets of teeth, like you were having temporary teeth or milk teeth, and after that, after some time, they were shed off and you got a set of permanent teeth. So because you are getting two sets of teeth, so that is why the term diffeodont has been used for it. And why heterodont? Because there are four types of teeth present in mammals, as you know, that incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. So because of four types of teeth, the term heterodont has been used. Okay, so I hope it is clear that why do we call them as heterodont, thecodont, and diffeodont. The development is, of course, direct, and these are the examples of mammals. These are all the examples of mammals in a mammalia class. Okay, and this is here we come to the end of the chapter. Thank you.